Support for the Lancast is provided by Winey Way Books and Pennsylvania College of Art and Design.
Welcome to the Lancast. I'm David Moulton.
And I'm Keith Slesser. This episode we speak via Skype from London with some very special people, my brother Steve Slesser and his wife Rebecca.
Rebecca shares about the journey that brought both her and Steve to England.
I knew about World Harvest for years, basically since the early 90s, and really felt that God was literally just leading me to London, which just, to me, even sounded absurd. Because who goes to Europe to be a missionary?
Later we learn about the day-to-day life working in missions.
We spend a lot of time in the marketplace with the traders and just
Getting to know people.
Yeah, getting to know people, and yeah, that's our lot.
Making friends.
Yeah, making
Steve and
friends.
friends love to make friends.
So,
Enjoy the conversation.
Steve and Rebecca, thanks for being on the show. You respond to that now.
Oh yeah. No, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, this is your line. Okay.
Okay. I didn't get the prompter.
Let's try that again.
Oh, shit.
Steve, Rebecca, Rebby, Freb, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Well, we're having you on the show here. We want to talk to you a little bit, at least the first half here. We want to talk to you a little bit about what are you... First off, where are you right now? Just why don't you tell our listeners where you are right now?
We're in Camden Town, London.
Which is central London, northwest bit.
And why are you there?
Good question.
We are here to share the gospel with the unchurched, overchurched, and just
Middle churched?
middle church, anti-churched. Yeah, we are what I just seen. I'm going to use a BBC. We are doing reverse. We are reverse missionaries. There was just a show on the BBC where there was a missionary that someone that was reached from a missionary here in India came back here to then evangelize.
Here being London.
Yeah, here being London, sorry. To evangelize here in Great Britain. So, yeah, I'm a reverse missionary. Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch it.
I'm not really familiar with the area you're in because it hasn't been featured in Doctor Who or the new Sherlock series yet. So maybe when it gets on TV, I'll know where you are.
You know, Dickens spent a lot of time in Camden. In fact, he lived in Camden.
He
right?
lived in Camden.
And so at Christmas Carol, the Cratchit family lives in Camden.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So you should be way more familiar with
I
it than you are. You should be really familiar
I
with
just got
Camden Town because of
schooled.
that.
You know the Mighty Boosh, right?
The what?
The what?
Mighty Boosh, you know? No, maybe not. Okay.
No.
Moving on.
Moving on.
What would you like to know about Camden?
Well, I want to know a little bit more about World Harvest, which is the organization that you're working with, and how did you guys get hooked up with them?
Well,
Rebs.
that would be me. It's a long story, but I'll try and keep it short. Basically, the church that I grew up in Ephrata, was really involved in missions, and so I knew about World Harvest for years, basically since the early 90s, and really felt that God was literally just leading me to London, which just to me even sounded absurd. Because who goes to Europe to be a missionary? But and that was in 2002, and so I started the whole process of moving here then, and just through a series of life events and it taking forever to get here, just moved here in 2011. But World Harvest is based. It's a church planting. They call themselves a church planting organization. So basically, their focus is more about taking the gospel to places in the world where churches are started, and their real focus is, thankfully, the gospel, but also on kind of working themselves out of a job and discipling people and really raising up leaders in that culture wherever they happen to be, so that they can hand over leadership. So in our case, we don't want to go to England and plant an American church. We want it to be very distinctly British.
So do you talk in accents?
we can. And we do when we're here, and it by accident.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is a speech impediment.
Anyway, they're based out of Philadelphia, actually, Camden Town. So they're local to Lancaster, pretty much. Just honestly, really excellent organization, and I'm not just saying that because I'm with them. I would not want to be overseas with anybody else or anything like that. So,
how long is your tenure?
Well, we
it is 2 years at this time.
Yeah.
We have it's to be. I mean, we're here as full time, which is they do it in 5-year terms.
Yeah.
Which basically there's 5 years, and then you come home for a 6 month.
At least 6 months.
Yeah, 6 month renewal, and then they kind of, they check you out, poke you, prod you, send you back. But it's basically a way that they can kind of make sure that
reevaluate,
okay.
see if you're still needed in the field that you're in.
Right.
You need to reconnect with your supporters and just and see people and get back to. And actually, it's also a tax thing too. Good old Social Security. So every 5 years you have to be back in the United States.
Yeah.
But we're here for 2 years because we had just enough support to live here for 2 years, unless Steve can get a job.
Come on, get a job, you wanker.
Get a job. Unless you get a job.
We had gotten a 2-year visa, so that we could be here, and I'm actually dependent under Rebecca, so I'm legally allowed to work here. So I've been kind of trying to. Basically, what's going to happen? I mean, we're here for 2 years definitely, and then we'll reassess it at the end of this term, which will be March, and in the 2 years, and see if we're going to stay for 5. All depending on income that might be generated, so.
And the government, if they decide that they don't want to renew our visa.
Yeah. that could also be a problem. Yeah.
All right, so take it back just a little bit. First off, Steve, how did you get into this? I know because I'm your brother, so I was there. But
yeah, part of it's your fault.
part of it's my fault. I remember that. Yeah.
Aren't most things mostly Keith's fault?
Yeah, well, except when they're not. I usually win though too. Okay, so I remember the fateful night. Rebecca was, Steve and Rebs started dating, and Rebecca was saying, "Oh, it's so bad. I'm going to be leaving in what it was like a Christmas or something like that, and going to be gone for 2 years." And I kind of said, "Nah, you're going to stay here and marry my brother." So anyone hasn't figured it out yet, he is my brother. So Okay, from there though, how did it transpire? What was it like going through the motions of like never having really had even the thought of becoming a missionary or doing missions work necessarily? We were in a band and planning on becoming rock stars. So,
Are you basically calling him whipped?
yeah, I am pretty much. Yeah, no, I mean we called her Yoko, but that's okay. It's good.
Yeah.
No, but what thoughts, what emotions can you explain in 5 minutes or less? The emotions you were going through that made you just all of a sudden decide to sort of like, I'm going to go with this beautiful woman over to England. Oh, never mind. I figured it out.
Well, I mean, wow, yeah. It went in stages. I mean, first, okay, the beautiful woman, whom I knew that I was to marry, and for whatever, I mean, like it was, you were saying it before I was saying it. So I mean, like,
let's give a timeline. This is what the first week that we met.
Yeah. But anyway, so first I was drawn to Rebecca and really felt that we were to be married. Well, she did too, obviously, because we are. So that was stage one. And then we both, at that time, she was about to leave, and decided that she wasn't going to. She was going to stay. And we decided to come over here, actually, and visit the team that she would have been serving with, just so we could meet them, I could meet them, and just not deny something. Because basically, at that time, I was thinking, we both decided to start at zero, which meant that I had to kind of give up my visions of what my future was going to look like, and she was going to give up on her future, and we were going to meet and just be husband and wife. And so I felt, we felt it would only be right to go and, see what possibly might be in the cards for our future. And missionary work was the last thing, that I would have been imagining for my future. Are you guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, so sorry. God worked in me a new vision, really, that kind of upon coming here, I had seen how even my time working in Caris, that I had been kind of being molded for this position that was needed here. So I, at that time, started thinking about it, like okay, maybe this is something that we should be considering. And so emotions then came in to the fact that you're considering leaving all your friends and family that you don't really want to be away from. So the emotions, it was definitely not an easy decision, but I felt as though God had given me a bride that I did not deserve, and He gave me a calling, and she had already raised a majority of the support to come over. I mean, she was about to come over, which is no small task. It's very expensive to live here, very, very, very expensive, and that was almost all, taken care of already. I thought it was pretty ignorant for me to ignore that maybe God wanted us to come over here and work over here. So that was the last bit, the icing on the cake or whatever. So I just decided to do it, and yeah.
I hear what you're saying. I just want you to know that I miss you too, Steve, because I think that's what you were trying to say.
Yeah, we desperately miss Lancaster.
Yeah.
Specifically me, though, right?
Yeah, specifically David Moulton.
I knew it.
Yeah, everybody misses you. Everybody misses you. Everybody with darts and with, with bullets and cars. I always miss you. I missed you a couple times myself. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with the Slessers.
Winding Way Books has been a major supporter of us here at the Lancast, and Melody has a great deal that we'd like to share with you.
Right now, with any purchase of $25 or more, you can get a $5 gift card from a number of different Lancaster businesses.
So make sure you take advantage of this great deal and come on down to Winding Way Books, located at 106 West Chestnut Street in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And we're back on the Lancast with Steve and Rebecca Slesser. Guys, what is the average day like for the two of you?
Well, the average day is spent. Yeah. The average day we spent working. First of all, the days are normally. I'd say my work day is at night, which is spending time out playing, gigging, and I spend my days mostly working with either with the musicians that I'm working with at night. Either can be anything from rehearsing or songwriting, or that would be kind of my normal day. But it's also spent doing ministry stuff as well. We spend an awful lot of time in the market, the Camden Town market. The Camden Town is pretty much famous for its market that they have. That is kind of a multicultural,
multi-everything.
Yeah, it's a really really unique place. It's in the top 5. No.
It's the 3rd most popular tourist destination in the UK.
It's probably because a lot of Charles Dickinson stuff was... Yeah. This is a little bit of knowledge that I have,
And
you your analogies to yourself.
Right?
What do you think you are, a journalist?
But yeah, we spend a lot of time in the marketplace with the traders and just...
getting to know people.
Yeah, getting to know people, and that's our lot.
Making friends.
Yeah, making
Steve
friends.
and Rebs love to make friends.
So I just have a question though: is there much of a language barrier? I mean, learning the new.
There is actually.
Extreme.
I mean, do people come up and ask you if they can smoke a fag and?
And I say, you want to kill a gay person?
Yeah.
Like, that's not legal.
It's always the ones with sexual references that get you. Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, to be honest, if people have a really thick accent and you're just standing there and thinking, I mean, we have some really good friends that are from the north, and for a while, for months, it was just, you understood about 50% of what they were saying, and so you just...
The blank stare.
Yeah, instead of constantly saying, sorry, what? What? You know, you just kind of let it go.
Smile and hope that they're going to reel it in somewhere.
But
hope that they didn't just ask you a question. You're going, oh, yeah.
which I'm sure that happened a lot, so...
It did. And you get the look like...
Yeah, but actually, funny enough, in Camden, because it's so populated with the tourists and the rest of the world, I mean, often we'll be walking to Sainsbury's grocery store, and we will not hear anyone speaking English.
Oh, really? So just like the U.S., then you're walking.
Yeah.
You don't really hear anyone speaking English.
It's a metropolitan city, so I mean, you have this.
Yeah.
It's multicultural, and that's really, really the case.
Well, Rebecca, what about you? What's your day like? Or are you just with Steve the whole time, annoying him?
Well, it's funny. That's been a really difficult transition for me because, like I mentioned, I've been trying to get here for 10 years, and for most of that, I had envisioned myself being here single, and then I got married, which is wonderful. But then, right before we moved here, I got pregnant with Jude, and so obviously that changes everything, especially in terms of ministry. So, just kind of constantly readjusting what I'm doing. So now, there's a lot, surprisingly, there's just a very large amount of children in Camden and young families. And so I'm trying to figure out how to get to know them. I mean, school is a natural connector, but Jude is only 8.5 months old, so...
Tell him to hurry it up a little bit. You can get out there.
I know. So...
Kids are a great way to meet people because they just they just don't care about anything else. Walk right up and start talking to somebody, and you're just like, oh, that's my kid. Sorry. Oh, no.
Yeah.
We have several friends right now living in the city simply because one of our kids walked up and started talking to them. So
the kids are cute too, so that helps.
They do. Are you saying I'm not cute?
I am.
You are?
Okay.
You do have a lot of friends. Maybe that's why.
So let's see. I there's some women that I've met in the market that I get together with, and there's one woman that is really amazing. She became a believer in God basically because she's a hypnotherapist, and a lot of people come to her. Well, basically, I don't know how to put it. I know. Basically, to have your evil spirits cast away from them and all sorts of interesting things. And so she basically became a believer in God through her occupation. And then she found us and the church that we're involved with. And then, so I meet with her about once a week, and we get together to pray. So, I don't know. We're still figuring things out, to be honest. And I guess anybody that's in this type of work could say every day looks different, pretty much. So, I don't know.
What was it like? I have two questions. The first one is more a practical question, but you said getting pregnant with Jude on your way over there. So what was it like having a baby not in your country?
I was wondering where that was going to go.
I know.
Keith.
You were making a baby.
It wasn't like. No. I know how that part works.
I'm not sure if you did. You're pretty close to that.
I don't know. It was like having the baby, being the birth process in a country that's not. I mean, I know obviously it's England and they speak English. So it's it's not quite like having them in another country like in Mexico or something where you don't know the language necessarily. But what was the experience like being I guess emotionally being so far away from your family and then also just a totally different medical system and I don't know, the comfort zone of that, I guess. Not that you ever experienced a baby here in the U.S. either, but I just...
It was amazing. Actually. And this is why we have really good health insurance through World Harvest, so we were able to go private here, and we didn't have to use the national health system. So we had a really, really, really amazing experience, and we felt really cared for. And my doctor is just a wonderful woman, and so I can't say enough good things about our experience with having a baby here. In fact, they were so good. We would love to have more here. But
you know how it works.
Keith doesn't, but apparently you do.
I didn't catch what he said.
I said, well, you know how it works, so you can.
Right. This is true.
We can edit that out.
So, but emotionally, yeah, that was really hard, and it still is really hard. I mean, we just had a good cry this afternoon, missing our families. So and my dad still hasn't met Jude, so yeah.
But on the upside, does your baby have any super British powers or anything now?
He does, yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
He's apparently in the running for the next Bond, I believe.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, if we stay here, he's going to be more British than American.
He's been saying mum.
Yeah, mum,
Mummy.
Okay.
He's a lot cuter than most Brits. So I mean,
I'm observing and I'm enjoying how Rebecca still sounds pretty American, but
yeah, Steve's kind of turning over.
Steve's back and forth between
he's kind of always been
American and English.
Really?
It's almost or British. It's almost.
If you've ever been in any Karis shows, like when he would talk between songs, he did kind of like he kind of put on this like, so we're on the show now, and our name is Karis. It's like his rock star mode,
British, like almost Aussie kind of sounding. Yeah. And then he kind of looks like Bono right now. Yeah. So I'm like, who is that guy?
Who is this guy? I can't understand what he's saying. No,
I love it. Yeah, you should hear him in action every day. Whenever he has to call someone, then it just goes up, to 11. It goes up to 11.
Up to 11.
I've had people arguing.
Oh yeah, people that don't believe him that he's American.
Yeah.
I don't believe him.
I think usually, but
I think to be fair, they're not. Most of them aren't English either.
English people, whatever. You're not English.
Some are Italian. The Italians. They all think I'm English. No, you're not. Okay.
Italians.
Those Italians.
Yeah. Anyway, it's getting ridiculous.
So,
okay.
All right, let's move the subject a little bit here. So, Steve, you said you play in, play out in pubs, play music. What kind of stuff are you playing, and what instrument are you playing out?
I am playing drums. I'm playing a suitcase drum, actually, more specifically. It is it's a 1940s Samsonite
That we found in the market.
And it makes a great kick drum. And basically throw a snare and some bits inside there. And
Samsonite, like Samsonite suitcase? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Suitcase. And it's no, I mean I play drum kit for different artists as well. I've become kind of a Camden go-to drummer.
Oh. Legend. Good,
Well,
say it.
I've had the experience when I first came. A little confused. First of all, never kind of really went at anything solo before. I was always, very used to being at a band and having that kind of power beside me. So I was going at it with hitting the open mics and was playing my stuff that just acoustically and I had first I'd been given an opportunity to play a gig, and I had a friend that I knew that played drums, and I had brought over with me a snare and a little suitcase, a case for it. And I had saved some stuff, the things that I brought over with me were very minimal. I had a set of cymbals, a kick pedal, and a snare within that case. And what I did was I put the kick pedal on the case, and I had him play along to my stuff. And when I did that, it was at a place where one of the guys that I play with regularly now, he was hosting this event, and I just offered to play with some of the people that were there, because it was more, an acoustic show. And that's where it kind of all started. I started setting up the case and drumming at open mics, just kind of improv style, like playing with people. And that was how I got all of the work that I have now. Drummers are in high demand in London in general, but in Camden specifically, it seems like I have more work than I could possibly do, and I'm constantly being approached to be in bands, and I mean, like, weekly.
It's because nobody wants to lug around their drum kit.
Honestly. Well, most of the clubs here have house kits, where it makes it a little bit easier, but you still have to lug around your breakables, which is the snare. It's tough work if you don't have. I mean, not many people in London have a car, unless they're wealthy, and I mean, like, it is, yeah. It's not very common. So your public transportation. So you see people lugging stuff all across the city in different creative ways. So that was that suitcase kit, as I call it, is the it was just kind of a means to an end, and it's it's gotten a bit of a reputation.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of how I've got to do what I'm doing now. So it's never imagined being a drummer. Never wanted to be, actually.
One more question.
All right. So, What was that?
He's sitting on his ball, and like every now and then you're making these noises that totally sound like you're beefing it up.
This week we spoke with Steve Slesser. All right. So, are you doing any? You say you're doing music. You're playing kind of like a hired drummer for people. Are you doing any of your own music? Are you writing anything? Do you have anything new that you've written?
Yeah, well, just recently, I've not really been working on my own stuff. There's a few different things, few different ideas that I had. I think I've completed one song since I've been over here, maybe two.
Rewriting.
But I've done a lot of readapting the songs that I have had to fit acoustically. A lot of them being care songs and stuff that I've played in a different way. Even adapted one of your songs. But I had not really, after I started getting busy playing drums and just was focusing on other people and what they were doing, I kind of stopped writing. Until recently, I've gotten with one of the people, and I'd say probably the main thing that I've been doing here is called Young Jude. It's actually just me and another guy, Joe Watkin, and he insisting on me being the other half of what he's doing. We started writing together. So that's only a new process. We don't have anything completed that we've worked on together, but we've rearranged some of working with some of his stuff that he has. He has a gazillion songs.
Yeah.
A really talented guy.
Look him up on YouTube.
Yeah, look him up on YouTube. Give me links or something. Young Jude is out there too. I mean, all of there's a YouTube page and stuff. You can see concerts that I've played with Young Jude. We've gone through different. I was spending most of my this relationship started in May of last year.
June, yeah.
May or June. That was June of last year, and so I had been just showing up and playing drums for him for different shows, and he has experimented with different bass players and guitar players and trying to make it a big band. But we found what worked best was just the duo, just the two of us. I was playing the suitcase kit, and he'd be playing acoustic, and we're starting to experiment with different loops and electronic stuff. And it's definitely kind of to form your own opinions. I don't know. It's definitely he himself is very Jeff Buckley-esque. That other guy who I won't mention, can't stand, but he has hit that the one that sounds like Jeff Buckley. But yeah, he's very.
What are his initials? No, okay.
I'll say. But yeah, it's definitely a new experience. We're trying. We've had a bit of. Sorry, Rebs. We've had a bit of time with management, which just recently stopped working with them. Just didn't feel we were ready for it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We don't know. I mean, that's as far as writing goes. That's the closest thing to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Steve's really been playing a supportive role ever since we got here. So
yeah, which has been great. It's been a new experience. But, I've been wanting to write more stuff and record and just Yeah, do you like that one?
I'm wanting to record.
Hey, I'm sitting on a rubber exercise ball, by the way, so just
Yeah, and then he keeps
If
trying
all
to
the
bang
people-
on it when he's talking.
yeah. I'm fidgety Slesser.
Must run in the family. I'm fidgety too, and whenever we go to record, we remove everything from the table that either of us are going to like pick up and start playing with.
I'm always like,
Yes.
Because if we leave it there, we're either both grabbing for it or one of us is like monopolizing it. So,
Oh, gosh.
well, guys, it's great to have you on the show. If anybody wants to learn more about what you're doing with World Harvest or would like to help support you, how can they do that?
They can go to World Harvest's website, which is WHM.org, or I should say WHM, no, .org. And there, you can actually look us up on that website and find us on Facebook. Sorry.
You can. There's. We just watched the
Social network.
the social network, and I so want to pull the plug on Facebook right now.
But anyway.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, the church that we're working with
Oh,
here,
yeah.
Camden Town Church. It's
It's CamdenTownChurch.org.
Okay.
The other website.
yeah. And as far as music stuff, Young Jude,
.net.
yeah, .net, or no, something. Young Jude, Google it.
we'll find it. We'll put the link.
I have a business card somewhere.
Steve didn't come up with a name, by the way.
Yeah, I actually was anti the name.
Joe insisted.
Yeah,
Young.
and Rebs gave him the
And
blessing.
I was like, hey, why not?
So the band was named after our son, but not by my choice. So
Well, yeah, thanks again for being on the show. Really appreciate you doing this.
Sure. It's 10 till 1 here.
Better let them get to sleep.
Yeah, go to bed.
Way to make us feel guilty, guys.
Yeah, God.
All right, thanks.
happening now, I'm good.
We hope you've been enjoying the Lancast.
This episode was produced by myself, David Moulton, with show notes by Keith and Lauren Slesser.
All pertinent links to this episode can be found in the show notes at thelancast.com.
If you specifically liked this episode, we ask that you consider making a donation.
Every little bit helps. Even $1 a show can keep us going.
If you'd like to help support us, you can do so by going to thelancast.com/donate.
And don't forget to subscribe in iTunes and tell a friend about the show.
So, for the Lancast, I'm David Moulton,
And I'm Keith Slesser.
asking, are you in the cast?